Hello students, we will continue with module 4 dimension analysis. In the previous video we have seen the introduction to dimensional analysis and we have seen what are the fundamental quantities and derived quantities. And I asked you to write down that particular table in which you have so many derived quantities, okay, and learn the dimensions of all those which I am actually showing you in the this particular table. This particular table is very important. You should actually be able to express all the physical quantities or all the variables in terms of the fundamental quantity, that is m, l, t, and if theta is involved, it is temperature is involved, and then you are having theta also. Fine. So with this we can move on with the syllabus part. So the next important entity is dimensional homogeneity. What do you mean by dimensional homogeneity? It is nothing but an equation. If you take an equation, the left hand side of the equation will be definitely equal to right hand side with respect to the fundamental dimensions or the powers of fundamental dimensions. For example, let us take the equation for velocity v is equal to root of 2gh. You got it in your pitted tube experiment, right? So if you take the left hand quantity or the variable, it is v. Put it in terms of fundamental quantities, L divided by t, right? It is displacement over time is what is your velocity. So L into t to the power of minus 1 will come. Now come to the right hand side. It is root of 2gh. Okay, root 2 into g into h. 2 is a constant, you don't have any fundamental entity for it. G is an acceleration due to gravity, so L by t to the power of 2. Okay, rate of change of velocity, so velocity divided by time, so L by t square into h. H is a measurement of head or the height. Okay, it will be written in terms of a unit length, so it is capital N. Okay, length, single of length. So now, if you solve here, you will get it as L square divided by t square, right? Root of that. So L by t. So root of 2gh, when I put it in terms of fundamental quantities, it is L by t. Similarly, velocity is also L by t. So your left hand side variable, when it was written in terms of fundamental dimension, it was equal to the right hand variable's fundamental dimension entities. Right, so your equation which you have written has a dimensional homogeneity, or it satisfies this particular homogeneity. That's why you can call this equation as homogeneous equation with respect to dimensional entity. So an equation which has got the same powers of fundamental dimension of the quantities involved in the left hand side of the equation to the quantities that is involved on the right hand side of the equation. Okay, if they are equal, all the powers and all the dimensions, fundamental dimensions are equal, then that equation is called a homogeneous equation. Okay, so this is dimensional homogeneity. This is very important, okay, to find the equations here. Forming equation, this particular dimensional homogeneity becomes very important. Now if you go to methods of dimensional analysis, you have two important types wherein you are actually trying to figure out the relationship between the different variables that is involved in a process or maybe a phenomenon. For example, V was equal to root of 2gh. So in order to obtain that equation, you have to go or you have to carry out dimensional analysis. So when we carry out dimensional analysis, we have actually two important methods. So which are they? They are Rayleigh method and another one is Buckingham Pi theorem, which is both are very important for your examination point of view. Now we come to the Rayleigh method. If you come to the Rayleigh method, what this method tells is, this method is applicable, okay, not when a particular process is or a particular variable is not dependent on more than 3 or 4 variables. Okay, if there is a process and it involves and there is a variable in that particular process, and that variable is dependent on maybe 2 entity or 3 entity or maximum up to 4 entity. You can solve this particular what you can say relationship using Rayleigh method. If not, or if it is more than what you can say 4, then you cannot solve it with Rayleigh method. So Rayleigh method is used to determine an expression for a variable which depends upon maximum 3 or 4 variables, not more than this. Okay, so once we solve the problem, we will be able to understand it. The number of independent variable becomes more than 4, then it is very difficult for you to solve by this particular method. Okay, you cannot use it. It is basic mathematics what you are going to use. For example, or in the statement wise, if you want to say the Rayleigh method, you want to generalize it, then if I consider x is a variable, and for that x variable I want to find out the relationship. So this x variable is a dependent variable and it depends on x1, x2 and x3 variables. I can write according to Rayleigh, okay, x is a function of x1, x2, x3. If I expand this, I can write x equal to some constant k into x1 to the power of a, x2 to the power of b, x3 to the power of c. See, I have removed this particular function and I have included some constants a, b, c for each variable x1, x2, x3, where k is a constant and a, b, c are some arbitrary power. By using simple mathematics, we can actually find the value of a, b, c. Okay, so how we are going to do it? We will just see an example, then you will be able to understand the. Okay, fine, we will take up a problem and we will see this Rayleigh method or understand Rayleigh method in a much better manner. So the problem is you have the time period of a pendulum depends upon length of the pendulum and acceleration due to gravity. Derive an expression for the time period. So we want to have a mathematical expression for time period small t, and it is given to you in the question that the time period is dependent on 2 variables, that is, one, the length of the pendulum, which is capital L, and it is also dependent on the other variable, which is acceleration due to gravity, which is g. So let us see by the Rayleigh method how to get the expression. So a small t, okay, is a function. You can write it as equal to a function of, okay, g and l, right? Now if you remove that function, then your t will be equal to a constant k into length is one of the variables, right? T is dependent on length, so L to the power of a and g to the power of b. It is as similar as this particular case where x was dependent on x1, x2 and x3, and we have taken x as x equal to a constant into x1 to the power of a, x2 into x2 to the power of b and x3 to the power of c. Similarly here, t is dependent on length and gravity of acceleration, so t will be equal to k into L to the power of a into g to the power of b. K is a constant over here. So substituting the dimensions on both the sides. Now you work on left hand side, you work on right hand side, you put in the dimensions properly. Your small t is nothing but a time, so fundamental dimensions will be t to the power of 1. That is equal to constant k on the right hand side I am working now. L, length is length only, so L to the power of a, and gravity is L into t to the power of minus 2 whole to the power of b. So L to the power of a, L t to the power of minus 2 whole to the power of b. Now you equate the powers of mass, equate the power of length and time. So MLT powers should be equated. Now if you see here, okay, this equation, is there any m quantity in the left and right hand side? There is no m quantity, so there is no powers of m is not involved, so there is no need to solve that. You have involvement of t and l on the left hand and right hand side, so let us equate the powers of t. On the right hand side, the power of t to the power of 1 it is, so 1, that will be equal to, here you have t to the power of minus 2 whole to the power of b, right? So t to the power of minus 2b will remain. Sorry. So 1 will be equal to minus 2b. So you can get the value of b here, right? From this equation, your b will be equal to minus. Similarly, you equate the powers of L. L you don't have it in the left hand side, so L to the power of 0 it will be. So anything to the power of 0 will be 1. So 0, right, is equal to L to the power of A you have. So A you take it. L to the power of B you have it. Okay, you have a B also here. So A plus B. B you have found it as half. So A plus B is 0. So A should be equal to half. Okay, so substitute the value of B here. Now substituting the value of A and B in the equation, you will get B is equal to K into L to the power of minus L to the power of plus half into G to the power of minus half. Okay, half is for root, and if I take G downwards, I get plus half. So K into root of L by G. So this till here, actually we can find it by the Rayleigh method. To find the K value, you have to do some iterations, experiments has to be done, and by the various experimentation, they have found K is equal to 2 pi. So at last you will get this final expression, which we have used it in the +1 or +2 or in your school days, right, where T is equal to 2 pi into root of Lg. Okay, or this can be removed and you can put the constant K over here. Okay, so this is the way. Okay, see, you have a variable time period which was dependent on two other variable, right, which was the length of the, what you can say, pendulum and the acceleration due to gravity. And by working on the left hand side and the right hand side, equating the powers of the fundamental dimensions involved in the physical quantities or maybe variables, you are actually finding their relationship, that is ABC, power constants. You are finding it out and you are forming a mathematical equation which links the variables, right? Here we found the mathematical equation for time period which is linked with L and G. Okay, so this was a simple problem. With more problems on Rayleigh we will see in the next video. Thank you very much.